Aleksei Oleinik versus Chris Daukaus takes place this weekend on the main card of UFC Fight Night Vegas 19, Blaydes versus Lewis, and I am looking forward to yet again another heavyweight clash on the card. This card is full of them. Aleksei Oleinik versus Chris Daukaus, two completely different situations and moments in their career right now. Chris Daukaus on the rise, undefeated in the UFC, 2-0, beat Rodrigo Nascimento Ferreira by a vicious KO and combination finish. I love Chris Daukaus' combinations. They are so pretty. He did the same thing again before that to Parker Porter, the legend himself. Put him down with another combination finish. He's got amazing finishes in the UFC so far, and they are really going to jump him straight to the top against Aleksei Oleinik here. And Aleksei Oleinik in a completely different situation. He is not on the rise. He could potentially be on the slide, but we're going to find out in this fight this weekend. Is Oleinik about to be done? Because if he does get KO'd by Chris Daukaus, that could be the straw that broke the camel's back, and then it's somewhat a downward spiral from there where you continue to get TKO'd. He hasn't been TKO'd more than one time in his career in a row, other than once where he got TKO'd twice in a row, and it was the same reason as I feel like it's going to happen again here. Chris Daukaus will get a TKO in the first round against Aleksei Oleinik. I don't think it'll be a KO, which I almost said just then. I think he will finish him with a combination, finish him on the ground with follow-up shots afterwards. It won't be a clean one. I do see Chris Daukaus getting this one done, though. As I said before, Oleinik has only been KO'd twice in a row, once in his career, okay? That was because he took a short notice turnaround afterwards and got right back in there 3 months later, or just over 3 months later. He is now taking this fight with Chris Daukaus 4 months later than his loss to Derek Lewis. And it was not just a normal KO loss that he had to Derek Lewis that he's coming off of right now. It was a really, really bad beating in that fight. He took damage early, got taken down, got back on top. He was winning the fight with Derek Lewis in the grappling exchanges. He always seems to take a while on the feet first to really get going with his grappling. In fact, Derek Lewis engaged on him in that fight, but the finish of that bout, I mean, he just took an absolute pounding from Derek Lewis. A little bit of a late stoppage, if anything, and also an illegal stoppage somewhat as well, because Derek Lewis was firing blows to the back of his head really, really badly, and they are not blows that you want to be taking too many of, even against children. You don't want to take shots to the back of the head of kids. Derek Lewis is doing it to you. I don't like that, and I don't like the fact that he's turning around so quickly, because I imagine he's urgent right now to make as much money as he can while he's this age. I'm sure he's got himself a decent contract. He's been around for a while now, looking to make as much money as he can while he's still young. 43 years of age. I said while he's still young, while he can still physically do it. A 6'2" heavyweight, 270, I think it's 227 pounds, the same amount of weight for Chris Daukaus. Both these guys are exactly the same in their last weigh-ins. 227. Chris Daukaus used to actually be about 250, 260. Really started trimming himself down after a couple of losses on the regional scene. Now he's a little bit better. He's basically a light heavyweight guy, or a middleweight guy even in some dimensions. Just taking on guys at heavyweight and using that footwork and combination. It's so beautiful to watch him do his combinations, I must say, and I feel like he's going to land those combinations nice and early against Aleksei Oleinik. I don't like Oleinik taking this fight after his loss to Derek Lewis. He's been KO'd before twice in a row, and I think it's about to happen again, and it might be the end of old Aleksei Oleinik, the warhorse himself. I feel bad saying it because he has been around for the longest time. I mean, he has been around since, let me find the exact date right now, the 10th of November, 1996. Aleksei Oleinik has been beating the shit out of people for money before I was even fucking born by 2 years. So that is, it's ridiculous how long this guy has been around for. And even before then, he must have been doing years of training before jumping straight in there. So he's been around for a long time, taking a lot of damage. He's been KO'd many times in his career. I just feel like this one's going to be a real bad one against Chris Daukaus. I don't mind him as an underdog, though. I always like picking Aleksei Oleinik as a dog. I picked him as a dog against Derek Lewis in submission in the first round. At the end of the first round, I said he almost had it with that scarf hold on Derek Lewis. I also picked him as an underdog against Fabricio Verdum before the fight with Derek Lewis, and he got that one done as an underdog as well. I like picking Aleksei Oleinik as an underdog, but I don't like this one. I just think Daukaus' combinations are far too quick, and Oleinik, one thing that can be said about him is that he's very slow, man. He's a slow guy. He likes to wear guys down, bring them into a brawl. I think that by the time he loads up one big shot of his, Daukaus is going to have landed a two-piece combination. And I know that he takes big shots off of guys in the division, but it's not the first shot that KOs people. It's that second shot from Daukaus. That tap first, just to get your reaction and get you to sort of untense after taking the first shot. Then it's the quick combination afterwards with the second shot. Daukaus, I believe, lands that combination shot and finishes Aleksei Oleinik in the first first round and moves on to bigger and better things in the heavyweight division. However, it might be very interesting, and this is a close fight, and Oleinik is always a good dog, but taking this bout after that last beating that he took off Derek Lewis, really, really bad, late stoppage, took a beating, probably still concussed. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes into this bout with Daukaus with already a headache from that fight. I just think he needed to take a little bit more time off, and he's going into this one 4 months later. We learn this mistake in people's careers so much. James Vick turned around too quickly, got KO'd, his chin was gone forever. Same thing happened to another guy who got KO'd too quickly in time to turn it Marlon Moraes. Tried to turn around a KO, lost too quickly after the Sandhagen one, went in there against Rob Font, got KO'd by a jab. You've got to take the time off. At least 5 to 6 months is normally the great window of time to leave it before you get too rusty. And I think Daukaus is going to make him pay for that. He's got all the momentum right now. I imagine he's got a ton of confidence as well. He's lost fights in his career, but as I said, that's when he was massively morbidly obese at like 250, 260 pounds. In fact, the UFC schedule of the $4 billion company still has him listed at 250 pounds, but he weighed in last time at 229 or 227, one of those two weights. He's a very much trimmed down guy. I think he has the option as well, if he fails this one, to make a run in the light heavyweight division, and I wouldn't mind seeing that either. He's got a brother in the UFC, Kyle Daukaus, in the middleweight division as well. I think he's got the skills of a younger guy, a smaller guy in a lower weight class. He's just putting it all together in the heavyweight division, and I think he's got a window of about a minute and a half early to get this done against Aleksei Oleinik, whilst Oleinik's trying to get your respect on the feet, because Oleinik will stand with guys. Like, he does shoot for takedowns eventually, but it's only after he's gotten the initial respect of tagging you with something on the feet that makes you hesitate the punches does he eventually go for the takedown. He stood on the feet for a while against Travis Brown and almost got finished in that fight. He stood on the feet for a while with Derek Lewis. In fact, Derek Lewis was the one that went for him in the takedown. Just being Derek Lewis, I guess. Just in the first fight, I mean, Oleinik was there, like, okay, let me get your respect on the feet. I'm going to take some of your shots. I'm going to give him back. And then Derek Lewis shoots a takedown because I think he got tagged by Oleinik in the close range and just looked to close the distance and get the clinch. But I don't think Daukaus is going to get caught like that. He's got great footwork. I like how he changes stances in the middle of combinations. He's kind of like a heavyweight Dillashaw, if you will, in his prime. And I know that people don't like Dillashaw for the EPO, but fucking hell, one of the most entertaining guys to watch. And I think Daukaus could be on that pathway as well. We'll see if this is his time. I think he will have a time where he rises up. If he does get KO'd, maybe he won't, because he's been KO'd twice before in his career, but that's when he was morbidly obese. He's now trimmed it down a bit. Seems to be getting better and better between each bout. I mean, I watched some of his older fights. He's had some good finishes in his career. He's got a lot of KOs, second round KOs, a lot of them in the first round as well. He's a real fast starter. I just feel like it's night and day watching him back then compared to now. Now that he's trimmed down that weight, the footwork is 10 times better, and that's allowing the combinations to land. And I just don't think Oleinik's going to be able to last one. I don't think he lasts one exchange against Daukaus. I really don't. I think Daukaus lands a couple of shots while Oleinik's looking for one big one, and Oleinik goes down. The only problem that I have with Daukaus is how good is his fight IQ, because you're most likely going to rock Aleksei Oleinik. Okay, if you're a striker and you've got KO power, you're going to rock Aleksei Oleinik. Even Travis Brown, who lost to Aleksei Oleinik, rocked Aleksei Oleinik in the first round and had him really badly hurt. The only question is, once he has Oleinik rocked, what does Daukaus do? Does he go into guard with Oleinik, which is a big no-no, because even Curtis Blaydes at the time that fought Aleksei Oleinik didn't want anything to do with a guard game, took Oleinik down. If he was in a bad position, if he was even in the guard of Oleinik, he stood right out of it and let Oleinik stand back up, eventually started piecing Oleinik apart on the feet, landing big combinations, and was on his way to finishing him before some weirdness happened in that bout where the referee stopped it because Blaydes' toe grazed the earlobe of Oleinik in the bout, and they called it an illegal. It was a weird situation in a fight, but still, I think Daukaus gets the combination punches there and lands them crisply on Oleinik's chin, and he has about a minute and a half window. But does he go to the ground with Oleinik, or does he ask him to be stood back up, or does he clear the legs and look for ground and pound? I think Daukaus gets this one done. I really do. I'm looking forward to his rise as well. We've got absolute monsters in the heavyweight division right now. We've got a whole other wave coming up. Right now, you've got Jairzinho Rozenstruik, Cyril Gane, and Curtis Blaydes sort of holding down the top of the division. They're the previous wave that have just got there to the top right now, but you've got another wave coming right now in the heavyweight division with Marcin Tybura making another rise. I think he's on a 4-fight win streak right now. You've got Sergey Spivak looking to make another rise. He's looking to get on a win streak. He lost to Marcin Tybura, but now if he wins against Vendera, he'll be back on a win streak. You've got Juan Espino on the rise, Alexander Romanov on the rise. We'll see if Tanner Boser can turn things around. You've got Daukaus himself on a rise. You've got Tom Aspinall on a rise in the heavyweight division. You've got Chase Sherman. Chase Sherman looking to make another run of things, but yeah. Ton of great names right now in the heavyweight division. You got some other guys looking to make their debut soon, like Ante Delija, people like this. We'll see how things go. And also, Jargis Danho is making his debut into the division. So, looking forward to heavyweight over the next year. Hopefully, 2021 has some good things. And hopefully, it starts off with Daukaus changing the guard here against Aleksei Oleinik, because I truly believe he does. And I've picked Oleinik as an underdog many times before. I don't mind his chances, but I know patterns when I see him. And I think he's going to get smacked up badly with these Chris combinations. I mean, the one that he landed against Rodrigo Nascimento Ferreira was just... it was wonderful stuff. It really was wonderful stuff that he landed against Nascimento. Just fucking... just all over the place. And then what I liked about it as well was he went to the ground with Nascimento, and they got back up, and then he went on him again. He didn't let any time pass. As soon as he got back up, right back on him with the combinations, finished him afterwards. Same thing with Parker Porter. Got him to the ground, realised he wasn't out of there. Let's move things back to the feet. And then I've got you again. I think he's going to guide Oleinik back up, have the IQ to do it, and then finish him again after knocking him down initially with a TKO in the first round. And after that, I think he should look on to names like, if I'll just load up to heavyweight rankings right now, if he does beat Aleksei Oleinik, he's going to be in a real good position in the heavyweight rankings, looking to jump up as well. Hopefully they don't match him up against another young guy like a Sergey Pavlovich, who's another guy that I forgot to mention that's on the rise right now at heavyweight. This next wave is absolutely dangerous right now. I just hope that they start matching him up with the older guys, you know, like the Shamil Abdurakimovs, the Augusto Sakai's, the Alistair Overeems if he's looking to get back in there. Maybe we do Overeem versus Daukaus. That's a death sentence, especially if Daukaus is good enough to beat a guy like Oleinik in the first round. However, we'll see how it goes down. I just want to start really getting away with these old fuckers. Like, as much as I love Overeem, you should have retired, man. You should have retired. Why are you coming back? Same thing with Frankie Edgar. Why? You're already a beast. No one's going to shit on Overeem. You know, no one's going to see Overeem and like, yeah, you fucking only top 5 for your whole career, dude. What a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, no, there's no insult to be had there. Only fought for the title how many times? This fucking bitch. You know what I mean? He only dropped Stipe Miocic in their fight. Like, there's not really much to insult. They've already cemented their legacies. Why are they clinging on? Let's punish them for stupidity for clinging on and match these young guys up with them. Overeem, we need rid of. We need rid of Shamil Abdurakhimov. Augusto Sakai is just not having it. If you lose to Overeem on your rise, you're not really made for the division. Let's be real. So get rid of him. Get rid of Oleinik hopefully this weekend. JDS is still going to keep going. So let's just fucking punish him for stupidity again. And let's move on. Blagoyevanov as well. Let's start matching these guys up with the young guys and start really cleansing this division and getting some youth up there in the top, because I feel like in the next year we're going to see a complete guard change of the heavyweight division, and you won't be able to cling on as an old guy anymore because we've got a whole new wave of talent coming through. And Daukaus kicks that off this weekend against Oleinik, and I think he kicks it off in style with a first round TKO. Dangerous fight though. Dangerous fight. Oleinik is dangerous. If he gets a good takedown, could be interesting. Daukaus has been submitted before. There's a minute and a half, 2 minute window to start off with, and Oleinik's just too slow, man. And he needs to take shots, and he comes forward like he wants. He's just too slow. Just watch too many. I opened up Daukaus's fights next to Oleinik's fights, and it's just two different speeds. It's like I'm watching one on the playback speed 1.25 times. You know what I mean? Like it's really different stuff, and I think Daukaus is really going to land some good combination finish on Oleinik and start the guard change of heavyweight. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button up there, and we'll see if Tom Aspinall can get it done against Arlovski as well. The whole card is all about heavyweights. We'll see if they can all get it done. I'm going to do my Daukaus, not my Daukaus. I'm going to do my Aspinall versus Arlovski breakdown tomorrow. Stay tuned for that one. Click that button up there. Get notified. Goodbye. Toodle pip.